Charlie Kirk just got shot at UVU, unconfirmed, but it looks like what just happened. Okay, first of all, you literally are a New York Times photojournalist. Please don't do this, okay? This doesn't mean Charlie Kirk got shot, okay? This just means shots fired at the Charlie Kirk UVU event. That's a crazy leap. We don't know what happened. Please, don't come in here with breaking news like this, guys. We will get there. Look at his page. Make Utah great again. What? Who is this guy? He said Charlie Kirk was shot. That's crazy. If that's the case, if that was the case, there'd be video footage of it, I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is not, it's Utah. It's not that backwards, okay? There's other accounts. None of them are journalists saying Charlie Kirk got shot. Okay, find me a video of the incident and okay, that's not a video of the incident. That's just people saying Charlie Kirk has been killed in Provo, Utah. What the fuck? Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Please stop. Does this mean your debate is canceled? Yes, that would mean the debate is canceled. If he got shot in the neck, what the f is happening? Mike Lee, I am tracking the situation at Utah Valley University closely. Please join me in praying for Charlie Kirk and the students gathered there. How is it shots fired at Charlie Kirk event at Utah Valley University? Shots have been fired at Charlie Kirk event at Utah Valley University. Footage from the scene showed event goers screaming as shots rang out on Wednesday. People at the event took to social media to share details of the moment someone opened fire at the conservatives event. Kirk published a post on X just minutes before reports of the shooting emerged. How is there no footage of this? What is going on? Okay, there's a live stream. Did this live stream show the shots being fired? Why do you want to see your political opponent get shot so badly? What? Bro, what will it take for you to believe? Wait, first of all, these two things are at odds with one another. It's my job to make sure that I get this breaking news story correctly. That's number one. And number two, what a stupid ass joke to make, dude. I have to confirm it. I can't just like go along with hearsay. These things are incredibly like there are so many cameras on these sorts of things. What the are you talking about? Charlie Kirk goes to a college campus. There's gonna be a lot of phone cameras out. Okay, around 60 minutes on that Twitter live link. It doesn't show anything, right?
They still should not be mass murdered. Their children shouldn't be killed at the age of 0.
We also don't condone Hamas either. We don't think that's all right.
We're not supporting terrorism.
Say that one more time real quick.
We also don't condone Hamas. We think that genocide people have a right to live.
And that's kind of back to
Oh,
You're gonna go down and see get closer? Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it's
Holy shit!
okay, so then it cuts. The live stream literally cuts. The live stream just cuts from that interview to people just going holy shit and running around. Also, if Charlie Kirk was shot, it'd be an incredible amount of annoying political leverage for Christian conservatives to blame the left for mass shootings. Shots 9-10 minutes ago at the YouTube video. Wait, he was doing a YouTube video as well? Oh no, this is another person. Okay. This is just a random.
Holy shit, Charlie. I don't know who's been shot. Say that one more time real quick.
we also don't
Oh,
condone
this is the
Hamas.
same one,
we
yeah.
think that people have a right to live.
and
Why does
that's
it
kind of back
skip?
to like the love one.
Why does live stream skip right as the shooting happens? Look. Like, oh no, this one doesn't.
It's just there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we
No way, dude. Deseret is reporting he was shot. Okay, Deseret News now reporting Charlie Kirk shot at Utah event. Charlie Kirk, this is a breaking news story, will be updated. Charlie Kirk was shot at an event at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah on Wednesday. Bystanders report seeing Kirk shot. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God. Bystanders report seeing Kirk shot near his neck during a Q&A with students. What is happening, brother? What the f is happening? Dean Withers, Charlie Kirk was reportedly shot in the neck. Why would Dean know? Was he there? Did he attend this event? I know he tries to go to Charlie Kirk events to try to debate him. Bandwidth over mobile and the frame size suddenly increases due to movement. That's why the live stream cuts when everyone starts to run. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I don't know. Like, I can't see from this angle whether,
You guys
like,
okay?
I assume this is the tent where Charlie Kirk is, right? Like, this is the tent where he is, right? Minute 1814, guy says the security said that, and there are people with guns. Check for the live chat. Found the video of him being shot. There is 0% chance. There is 0% chance that if this happened and Charlie Kirk got shot, that someone doesn't have the footage. Benny Johnson and Candace Owens and everyone is saying, like, pray right now for Charlie Kirk. Pray right now. Pray with everything you have. Get down on your knees and pray. Please, I confirm that Charlie's been wounded at an event in Utah. Please, Jesus, help us now. A journalist is reporting on this. Deseret News and KSL are gathering as much info as we can. A witness told our newsroom that they heard a blast like a firecracker while Charlie Kirk was answering a question, creating panic at UVU. So is it actually a moment of panic and that there's like misinformation flying around, or did he actually get shot? I don't understand. Because like, this is the photo that this guy posted. It said Charlie Kirk breaking, Charlie Kirk shot in the neck. Oh, you found the video? Oh, hold on. I'm going to look at the video right now. I told you there's got to be a video. Wait. All right. Oh my God. Holy oh! Dude, you hear a shot, you hear the crack of a shot, and then you hear his head just crack back right after. And I think what the people are saying is correct. That he might have been shot in the neck. Oh my God. Okay. Holy fuck, dude. Charlie Kirk is, as far as I've seen, Charlie Kirk has been shot at an event at UVU in Utah. What the What? But I don't know if it's the neck though, because the moment of impact, I see, like, on the moment of impact, you see his t-shirt go like this. And I don't know if that's because of the, like, you see him recoil and his head rocks back, but I don't know if it was actually him in the neck. I think it was in the chest, because the area of impact that you see, is on the shirt. Like, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking right at the video. It's in his neck. Blood comes pouring out. Oh, second photo. Look at his neck. Oh, yeah. Wait, how did he? Unconfirmed reports right now of it's coming from his neck. If you pause for 4 seconds, was it point blank or from afar? I have no idea. Disavow quickly and vehemently for your own safety. Yeah, no, dude. What do you mean? Of course, I don't think you guys understand. I was supposed to debate him in a public setting, like a month from now. Obviously, like, even aside from the principle of it all, yeah, no shit. It's also for my own personal safety as well. I'm also, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm also a public figure who does political commentary, who was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk in a public setting at Dartmouth University a month from now. I assume it's not going to happen now. Obviously. UVU, I go to UVU and I got this emergency message. UVU alert. A single shot was fired on campus towards a visiting speaker. Police are investigating now. Suspect in custody. Yeah, that debate is canceled. Yeah. I don't think that debate is happening any longer, chatters. What the f? Stop going to public events, bro, for real. Bro, stop cancel your public events. Hogs are going to want revenge. What do you mean? Supposedly that, I'm going to guess there has to be Hasanabi heads that were there. Can they report it? There's some Hasanabi heads here, but yes, the Dartmouth debate was supposed to happen in 15 days from now. I was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk in 15 days at Dartmouth University. But obviously that's not going to happen any longer, I suspect. Here's footage of the man that allegedly shot Charlie Kirk. That's what they're suspecting. That's what it seems like. Like an old dude. You know what's going to be safest for you, but I think chatters are saying that hogs don't think straight and will want revenge against you for some reason. People just wanting you to be careful. Revenge isn't another commentator, not that you had anything to do with it in particular. Stay safe. Yes, no, I understand that. Yes, chatters, Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck. I watched it. I watched a video. It looks it's just, he gets shot. There's only one footage that we've seen, one piece of footage that we've seen so far. It's this one where you briefly see it and the camera moves, the camera pans away right after he gets shot. But there is a screenshot from the photo where there's a screenshot from the footage that shows that there's like blood coming out of his neck. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything beyond that. This is the most insane situation. We have no additional evidence or no news beyond the fact that the police have already said that it was a single shot that was fired at UVU police said. There's a worse clip on Twitter from the front row. Send that to me as well. But my point is, he gets shot and he gets shot in the neck. And the campus police statement on it was single shot fired against event speaker, and the shooter has been the suspect has been apprehended. So that leads me to believe that most likely the guy that shot him was probably the old guy, because he is the guy that has been apprehended. Candace Owen says, everyone, please stop what you're doing and pray for Charlie Kirk, please. There is a close-up. There is a closer footage of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck here as well, where you can oh, he's dead. Oh, my God. He's definitely dead. Oh, my God. I can't believe I just saw that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, he definitely got shot in the neck. Oh, my God. Oh, oh yeah. No, that footage, that you do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. That footage, the close-up footage shows very clearly immediately blood pouring out of his jugular. He gets shot in the neck, blood pouring out of his jugular, like an unimaginable amount of blood pouring out of his jugular. There is very, very little chance that he survived that. I don't know if he did, but it doesn't seem like it. Oh my God. That was fucking devastating. Holy shit. I don't know what to say. Oh my Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy America is so absolutely. Fox News is covering it now.
He had posted images of himself before this huge crowd at Utah Valley University there outside of Provo. And he said, we're so back. You could see there was enthusiasm. He was passing hats around. You can watch him on video. This was posted half an hour ago of him doing that and greeting this crowd. He is somebody that the Trump campaign, as Kristen was noting, utilized very effectively to harness his leadership in this conservative activist movement, again, with young people, young men specifically. We've talked about this a lot when we look back. Charlie Kirk is at the heart of that effort. They relied on him and his organization a lot for their ground game in a lot of the states around the country. And so this is somebody who obviously has a huge voice inside conservative American politics, a big Trump supporter, but obviously now in this really unfortunate, horrific experience is going to be at the center of a conversation about political violence, I would imagine, that we're going to be having in the aftermath of this horrific event.
Oh, certainly. And there's a lot of reason to be concerned right now, as we do not know his status. We don't know how he's doing, and we're awaiting word certainly of that. As you mentioned, it says a lot about where we are as a nation when it comes to violence in politics. Can you talk a little bit about what he was doing in Utah. He was going to universities to speak to young people.
Yeah, and organizing them. And again, that's why I was literally, you can just bring it up from his Twitter page a little while ago. You can see
what happened
it's
to
not
him?
just like sometimes.
Charlie Kirk was doing an event, one of the classic events that he does, like a Change My Mind style event at Utah, at a campus on Utah, at UVU campus. He was sitting under a tent. One shot rings out, and immediately his jugular opens up, and blood is just pouring out of his neck. I saw it. I'm confirming it. I'm telling you right now, there is a very, very low likelihood of survival beyond that point. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's happened. I don't. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. The reason why I say it was most likely his jugular is because I've never seen so much blood pour out of someone's neck in real time in like a moment's notice before. It just completely gushes out. Do not watch the video. If you have not seen the video, do not. Like, the reason why I watched it is because I wanted to see, the reason why I watched it is because I had to confirm whether or not this was a real incident. I'm telling you, avoid it. It is one of the most things you could possibly see. There is one video that was shot from afar that basically shows you his head cracking back after you hear the shots being after you hear the one shot fired, and then the camera pans away. There is another video from inside of the crowd, a closer up video that is circulating online right now, where you literally see, where you just straight up see his jugular gush out after the moment of impact. That second video, the close-up video, is from like 15 feet away. And I mean, look, I cover Israel genocide every day. I see charred children. I see children carrying their dead parents in trash bags to the hospital every day. It still is a little different, at least from my perspective, I think, because this is a person who does what I do, but, on the opposing side, I was supposed to debate him at Dartmouth University 15 days from now in a public event, in a public setting. I go out to public settings like this all the time. So there's a level of closeness in that regard because of the nature of what I do. I mean, look, I have a policy of not living in fear, and but we'll see. I might have to reconfigure certain things. This is insane. I never thought I would see something like this.
Whether it was a rifle, was it a handgun?
But I guess if there's one country where something like this could happen, it's this one.
It's also notable that he hosts, as part of many of the events that he has, these debates with folks that come, college students and others who come as part of a crowd, and he hosts debates with them at close proximity. We don't know that that's exactly what happened here, but it is notable given what you were just describing, Chief Ramsey, as the setting for these events. We also have a statement put out by California Governor Gavin Newsom now, who interviewed Kirk on his podcast back in March of this year. He says the attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. In the United States of America, we must reject political violence in every form. Let's go back to the White House now and Kristen Holmes, because it's notable, as we just said, he's been interviewed by Democrats and Republicans. The weight that he carries and his voice within the conservative movement, especially among young people, he's someone who at times has had the president's ear as well.
Not just had the president's ear at times. I mean, he is incredibly close with President Trump. They speak directly. He also is close with high-level members of the administration. You see the vice president tweeting there. He knows and speaks to Charlie Kirk. If you are talking to people within the administration, they will tell you that Kirk is somebody who has the finger on the pulse of the MAGA movement in a way that sometimes even the people in Washington do not. He has been such a force for President Trump, somebody that they relied on. At times there was even floated that he might join the administration, and I was told during the transition that they actually believed that he was more powerful not being part of the administration because of the following that he has, because of this unique ability he has to reach these specific young voters. And one of the stories we did on the campaign was how exactly they were doing this. And this was by reaching out to people who hadn't voted before, bringing them into the MAGA movement and getting them to vote for President Trump. So it's not just as though this is an ally of the president's. It's somebody who, again, has this enormous following that the president pays attention to, who is close to, who he listens to. We can recall that there have been issues that Charlie Kirk has brought to the president's attention that people in the base were upset about. This is something we've reported on extensively. So this is, again, I just think it's really important to note here, while he's not a government official, while he is not a member of the administration, he's essentially the closest thing you could get to that position without actually being in the government. He's influential in Washington, he's influential in the Republican Party, and he's certainly influential with President Trump and influential.
This is part of the reason why I don't make a big public show of a lot of the public events that I'm attending ahead of time until it's happening in real time, you know? I'm like, this is obviously always a fear, especially in the United States of America. There is not, I mean, I don't know what to say, dude. I don't know what to say other than America is an incredibly violent country, and it's getting even more violent every day. It's one of the most insane. This is one of the most insane things I've seen. Is he dead? From what I saw, look, there's no confirmation yet. But I saw the close-up video to confirm the veracity of the reporting. And let me tell you, in the absence of like immediate, super significant medical intervention, I don't know how he survives that. Because, yeah, I will just say the up close video, the closer video that is being circulated around online right now basically shows it's right in the neck, and the amount of blood that gushes out of his neck in that moment in real time implies that there is very low likelihood of survival. Like, that's not, I think if your jugular was cut like that, I assume I don't know. I don't know how you I mean, he's been hospitalized, so I guess he is alive. Like, according to Fox News, he's been hospitalized. I don't know how he survives that. I don't know how he did, but if he's actually at the hospital, that means, you know, there has been medical intervention. He's not dead. Kirk has been scheduled to appear at Utah Valley University on Wednesday as a part of the American Comeback Tour. Yes, I was supposed to debate him in 2 weeks at Dartmouth University. Look, there is, I have a lot of opinions and a lot of feelings right now. One is that this is a person that I have known and have been that I've debated in public settings since 2016. I had 2 very public debates with him at Politicon, and I was supposed to do another in Dartmouth in 15 days. I obviously also do public events such as this one, as well as a political commentator on the opposing side. I mean, obviously, this kind of violence is completely unacceptable, and I'm just letting you guys know. Obviously, I have in the way that I'm looking at the situation, it's a little bit difficult for me not to feel heavily biased. You a leftist for the fashion. There's an 87 to 90% chance of surviving a gunshot wound to the neck if no major arteries were destroyed. So chances of him surviving are quite high. There was a local news live stream.
Protesters up above him and to his right, not in the area that the shot came from. And they would say things and boo here and there, but overall it seemed very supportive of what was going on.
And with the tiers, the levels, when events are held out here, obviously this was a big crowd, but are they typically occupying those balconies and those enclaves?
Look, I don't know if it was his jugular or not, but the amount of blood that I saw spurting out of his neck made me think that it was most likely his jugular.
Okay, well, we appreciate your
Like, it is the
insight,
most
Jeff.
horrifying
Thank you so
thing I've
much for
ever
joining us
seen.
and jumping
Maybe
on. We are
made
getting
more
some
horrifying by the fact that I know
witness
him
accounts of
personally.
folks
I've
who were
known
there
him
on
for
the
years
scene.
and was
tell me the
supposed to
name
debate him. I don't know,
and the caller,
and
please?
like what he does for a living. It makes it
When
like
I
that's why I'm
mentioned
saying
over,
I'm a
I'm
little
just
bit
reading this
biased in this
now,
situation. Obviously, it's like
President
very hard
Trump
for me to
has just
see.
addressed the shooting on his
It's very
social
hard for me to
media
see this
site,
as like
Truth
anything
Social,
but an
saying,
immediate
quote, "We
threat
must all pray
to
for
anyone that
Charlie
does
Kirk."
this.
Said-
Guys, shut up. Stop saying take the day off and reorient yourself. Okay, calm down. I'm a 34-year-old man. Okay, shut up. Oh my God.
We understand there was
Stop
a
babying me.
speaker that had just gone out. Charlie Kirk hadn't even spoken yet. And so we're taking a look right now on your screen here. We're getting more video of Utah Valley University at this speaking event.
Bro, when people immediately go, hey, you have to hire security or whatever, you guys realize that he has the best security, right? You realize that, right? Like when you say, oh, Hasan, why don't you hire security when you do IRL streams? He has the best security. Trump confirmed he's dead. He had the security. There's nothing you can do when you get shot by a sniper rifle in the neck when you're doing a public event. You understand that, right? I don't think he has not been pronounced dead. He is in the hospital right now. Okay, I don't know how he survives this. I have seen the video, the up close video that's circulating that they're not obviously showing here, and you shouldn't see it. I promise you, you don't need to see that. Okay, I don't know why chatters are lying in here, but he lost a tremendous amount of blood immediately in the moment of impact. The only thing that Trump has said so far, and this is from Dan Scavino's account, we must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot. A great guy from top to bottom. God bless. It's unimaginably graphic. I mean, this is, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is just terrifying. Here's CNN's
rang
coverage.
out, and you can see a large crowd gathered there at this university in Utah. Folks running away from the scene. This is one of many videos circulating online right now that we are working to confirm. But as John was saying, I mean, the challenge of securing a wide open campus, what appears to be a courtyard there with a number of tents for officials, or rather for students and attendees to participate in the event. No shortage of issues trying to secure a place like that.
No, certainly not. And let's go to Donny O'Sullivan, who has been to a number of these events. He's joining us now on the phone. Donny, we just saw some of the aftermath in that video, people running away, an incredibly scary situation for so many people there. Talk to us a little bit about these events, the kind of security they do or do not have, and what it's like to be there.
Hey, Brianna. Yeah, I mean, I think what you're seeing on your screen now is really normally sums up what these events look like. I mean, minus the chaos, of course, but always very big turnout on college campuses. Charlie Kirk has been doing this for a number of years. His organization, Turning Point USA, has been running these kind of events, hundreds of them, potentially thousands of them, across universities, really mobilizing the young conservative vote, and in recent years, of course, specifically the young MAGA vote. We were actually down a few weeks ago in Tampa, Florida, where Turning Point USA had their summit, and we spoke to some liberal groups, young Democrats who are actually trying to emulate the work Charlie Kirk's organization is doing. These Democrats were, of course, very critical of Kirk's policies and his views on politics, but spoke, frankly, very complimentary of his organizing tactics. So what you see at these events, these college campus events, has really been a successful model for mobilizing young voters. In fact, in just recent weeks...
Wait, gunman is not in custody, campus official says? So the guy that they arrested might not be the actual gunman? Because initially, campus police said the gunman was in custody, that the suspected shooter was apprehended. Now, breaking news: Kirk shot and gunman not in custody. Campus officials say. Scott Trotter, senior director of public relations at Utah Valley University in Orem, just confirmed to the BBC that Kirk was shot and that the attacker is not in custody. Trotter said at 12:25 local time, a single shot rang out in the quad near the food court at Utah Valley University Orem campus as Mr. Charlie Kirk began speaking at his planned rally. We can confirm that Mr. Kirk was shot, but we don't know his condition, Trotter said. He added that the campus is closed for the rest of the day. There's a video of them arresting an old man, but maybe that's not the shooter then. I don't know. I don't know what to I bet you they found no GPR on suspect at this point. Doubtful they'll find the shooter. I know Netanyahu tweeted about it as well. Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Chatters. There are different ways there are different ways beyond advocating for violent retribution when it comes to people like this. You guys are saying things right now that is completely ridiculous, okay? You're saying things without even assuming how it reflects on yourself, how it reflects on the left, how it reflects on people like myself, deliberately putting someone like myself in the crosshairs, in the line of fire. There's never going to be a moment where I will ever advocate for fucking political violence of this sort for understandable reasons. One, because it's abhorrent, and two, because it's, like, what are you talking about? I need you to understand something. This could have, if it didn't happen in Utah, it could have happened in Dartmouth. You get it, right? It can happen anytime I go out as well. If this is a real consideration. There's a real concern. We live in the United States of America where everyone has a gun. Even Charlie Kirk's own assessments about gun violence is a necessary byproduct of having freedom. It doesn't mean that, I know that our enemies, people in Charlie Kirk's audience, for example, would be celebrating if the same thing had happened to me. Okay? But it doesn't matter. Be more careful. If not for morality, be more careful in terms of self-preservation, because political violence happens no matter what, okay? And there will be violent retaliation as well. So just think, okay? Just think. The shot came straight at him, witness says. Former U.S. Congressman who was at the event with his daughter has told Fox News what happened when Kirk was shot. Everyone hit the deck, scattered. Former U.S. Representative Jason Chaffetz says he calls the violence shocking. Now, of course, it is shocking, but I guess in some ways it's not that shocking at all, considering it's the United States of America. That's something to consider here.
So where we were, though, it's interesting. It's kind of like a stadium. So it was a big bowl. It was a big bowl. So Charlie normally his platforms is just sitting on the side of the pavement, and everyone's at eye level with him. But with this, he was more down lower, and then everyone was around him in this bowl. We saw videos of from other people who saw the aftermath and didn't run immediately out, because we ran straight away. But it looked like it was an older gentleman wearing a uniform who was taken away, put in custody pretty much right after. He was a man in his 50s or 60s.
And just to be clear, Emma, you're saying that you saw that through a video because you ran off from the scene. You didn't actually see the man being taken into custody yourself?
We didn't, correct. We didn't actually see the man about 10 minutes ago, so almost 30 minutes after this all happened, I want to say. We found the people that we had originally interviewed with that were super happy to be there and excited, and they had recorded it, and so they were showing us from their phone. Right.
Okay, so you saw videos from people that you had actually talked to ahead of time who had recorded it themselves. What else did they tell you?
I mean, nothing really from any of them. I think everyone still here is in so much shock. The university's been completely evacuated, so the only people left in the building are people who witnessed it firsthand. We have heard reports that Charlie Kirk is stable and breathing. That was a couple of maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. But again,
are they really reporting off those Facebook? Okay, I can tell you things that I saw with my own two eyes with an absolute certainty. Right now, there's a lot of misinformation flying around. I myself have also shown you some of the things that people are suspecting that was going on. But one thing I can tell you with a certainty is that Charlie Kirk got shot. It was one in the video that is readily available, that is circulated. There's two different videos, one from afar and one up close. Okay. Both of the videos show that there was only one shot. Okay. Both of the videos also show that he was shot in the neck and he lost an unimaginable amount of blood. and immediately after the moment of impact, he got shot near the throat, and blood starts gushing out, like spraying, which is consistent with what is it, like a main artery, a piercing through a main artery. Okay, it is very, very unlikely to survive a shot such as that one. But there is no confirmation that he actually has. There's no confirmation. The girl on CNN said that his condition is stable. There's no confirmation that he has died. Okay, there's no confirmation on that whatsoever.
Political ideas are presented, but there were only a couple of protesters who were there, and they were in the balcony. Yeah, and Charlie Kirk even made a point about it. He said, "Look up there. There wasn't that many. There's probably about 3 or 4 posters. There's one."
The event was out in the open. I assume that there wasn't like a lot of security on the campus in general. He could still survive. There's a very low likelihood he could still survive. I don't know what the chances of survival without any sort of like significant, debilitating, life-altering injuries. Initially, there were initial reports off campus police that stated that one shot was fired. The speaker at the event, Charlie Kirk, was shot at, and that the shooter, the suspect, was apprehended. There was a video that was circulating around of an old man. There was a video that was circulating around of an old man being apprehended by police. Now, according to BBC's latest reports, the gunman is not in custody, according to campus officials. So we don't know. We don't know if the suspect is at large. But the New York Times is now confirming that via school spokeswoman that the suspect is in custody. So I don't know if something changed in the last couple of minutes. Charlie Kirk, here's what to know. Updated 3 minutes ago. Charlie Kirk, the head of Turning Point USA, the nation's preeminent right-wing youth activist organization, was shot in the neck on Wednesday while speaking at a campus event at Utah Valley University. Cell phone videos posted online showed people running from the event after a gunshot rang out. One single gunshot. One video appeared to show Mr. Kirk's head jerking back as blood poured from his neck. He had been delivering remarks while sitting under a tent with the slogan, "The American Comeback," printed on it. A university spokeswoman, Ellen Trenor, said that Mr. Kirk was struck about 20 minutes after he began speaking on campus. She said a suspect had fired at Mr. Kirk from the Lucy Center, a building about 200 yards away, and had been taken into custody. The suspect was not a student, she said. Condition unknown. Ms. Trenor said Mr. Kirk's security had taken him away after the shooting, and she did not have any information on his condition. Andrew Colvett, a spokesman for TPUSA, confirmed that Mr. Kirk had been shot in the neck. President Trump posted on social media in support of Mr. Kirk. Benjamin Netanyahu posted, saying, "Pray for Charlie Kirk. We must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot," he wrote on Truth Social. "A great guy from top to bottom. God bless him." A close ally, Mr. Kirk, 31, has emerged in recent years as one of the most influential young right-wing figures in the country and established himself as a close ally to the president. Mr. Kirk co-founded Turning Point USA in 2012 and has since become a fixture on college campuses where he hosts rallies like the one in Utah that often draw large crowds. Even though he's not part of the administration, Mr. Kirk's influence in the White House is significant. Since the November election, he has helped vet prospective appointees, testing their loyalty to Mr. Trump. Okay? My own interactions with Charlie Kirk start around 2015, where I debated him at Politicon when he was an upstart, basically creating Turning Point USA as a entity that was specifically designed to manipulate college campus elections and student government elections in general in high schools and college campuses, heavily funded by Republican donor Foster Friess, who passed away. I debated him publicly twice at Politicon on 2 different occasions, and I was slated to debate him at Dartmouth 2 weeks from now. We were also supposed to have a public debate 2 weeks from now at Dartmouth University. I say we were supposed to. I don't think that's going to happen any longer. Yes, I did see him at the DNC as well, but that's besides the point. That doesn't matter. But I have I have used Charlie Kirk as an example of like the way that the Republican media ecosystem works and how they prop up figureheads and how they bring in figureheads from the right directly into the horizontal and vertically integrated media infrastructure that the Republican Party uses, the propaganda outlets of the Republican Party uses, because Charlie Kirk and myself basically gained prominence in American politics on opposing sides at about the same time, and his career obviously has been explosive, and he has found himself not only in charge of this heavily funded organization, Turning Point USA, but also has become a close ally to the Trump administration twice now. Actually terrifying to see what political violence is turning up. Like how much political violence is happening in this country. It's an incredibly violent nation. America is an incredibly violent nation already. It is, everybody has a gun. This is a terrifying prospect in general. It's just, I mean, this is a terrifying incident for a million different reasons. I worry about the repercussions of this. I think that the reverberations of people seeking out vengeance in the aftermath of this violent, abhorrent incident is going to be genuinely worrisome. Of course, this is a country where children get slaughtered on a weekly basis by shooters. Like I said, violence and ultra-violence in general is a very common thing that takes place in this country. But this is a attempted high-profile political assassination on a political speaker, and it's I don't know. It's hard for me not to see a close parallel here and worry about where things may go from this point on. At this point, there is no hospital updates, but Gabby Giffords, the former Arizona congresswoman who nearly died in a 2011 assassination attempt, said she was horrified to hear that Kirk had been shot. Democratic societies will always have political disagreements, but we must never allow America to become a country that confronts those disagreements with violence, she said on social media. As I've said before, decentralized acts of violence from adventurists happen as a direct consequence of not having a real pressure valve when there is tremendous political instability. Okay? This is the reason why the democratic process is supposed to be a pressure valve for this sort of thing, in order to thwart these kinds of incredibly violent incidents. It's not like he was a senator or the president. He was a influencer. What is wrong with people? It doesn't matter. He was a close advisor to the president and a very visible, high-profile advisor to the president. That is the reason why it's massive. It's very consequential, and a lot of people are talking about it.
Or including the buildings and other open spaces. Because
also, Donald Trump literally sicked the entire. Donald Trump sicked the National Guard on D.C. because of big balls getting jumped by a 15-year-old teenager. One 15-year-old girl and one 15-year-old boy. What the do you think he's going to do after this when one of his top advisors, the guy that he has named numerous times as a creditor to his success with Gen Z voters, was shot in the neck in Utah? Okay. I don't even know where we go from this moment on. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what the administration is going to do. I just don't think that they're going to be normal about it. Okay. Think about that. University says a suspect is in custody after Charlie Kirk was shot at an event. And yeah, one of the biggest fucking reactionary monsters out there is Elon Musk. And he's already started saying the left is the party of murder. We don't know the background or the profile of the shooter. We do know that statistically speaking, these sorts of political violent incidents do not actually often come from the left, but it is usually right-wingers, former Trump supporters themselves shooting at Trump, people who have voted for Trump shooting at Trump, or attempting to assassinate Trump. Obviously, I mean, and Utah is also a very right-wing state. We don't know. Of course, I'm not going to still debate him. What are you talking about? How am I supposed to debate him? We don't even know if he's alive. No, Chatter, stop asking me stupid questions. Come on, man. Abby D. Phillips says, the degree to which the algorithm on this platform is pushing video of the shooting is incredibly disturbing. There has to be some human that can turn the dial down in a situation like this. The human that would turn the dial down, I don't think is interested in turning the dial down. I think the person that would turn the dial down is turning it up, as a matter of fact. Cranking it up, okay? This is the 46th shooting at a school this year. Guys, don't link me AF Post. We don't know yet. AF Post is not giving a firm confirmation, okay? Just wait. Wait until there is a real news report, not from America First. I don't know how the do public events going forward. Like, I don't know. It's just not. Oh, there's another angle of the video as well. A third angle. Maybe he survives this. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know how. Turning Point USA confirms the shooting, says Kirk is in the hospital. Turning Point USA, the conservative youth organization founded by Charlie Kirk, confirmed in a statement to CNN that Kirk was shot during the organization's campus tour stop on Wednesday. This is an ongoing situation. We can confirm that Charlie Kirk has been shot. He's in the hospital and we're preparing for him at the time. Why won't anybody say that his condition is stable, dude? Like, I don't understand. Every single person just keeps saying he's in the hospital.
And, Turning Point USA, the group that he runs, is now confirming, quote, Kirk has been shot. He is in the hospital, and we are praying for him at this time. The prayers are so all-consuming right now and bipartisan. Everyone from President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance to members of the cabinet to Democratic leaders like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. Bipartisan condemnation of this act of political violence. It's a reminder, Brianna, that in a country like America, in a democracy, we only have a democracy if we settle our disagreements with words, not with violence. For the liberals, for the anti-Trump voices, for the anti-Kirk voices out there who feel despair, about the direction of the country's politics, the way to address that is through words, not through violence. And so whenever we see one of these appalling crimes, it is disturbing because it cuts to the core of how the American democracy functions.
Yeah, certainly does.
Turning Points USA just released a statement to CNN confirming the shooting. They say this is an ongoing situation. Kirk is in the hospital and we are praying for him at this time. David Chalian and Laura Coates are with us. And David, it's important to state again just the significance of Kirk in politics and specifically his appeal to younger conservatives on college campuses. In large part has to do with his accessibility, his desire to get out in front of a crowd and debate.
Yeah. It's hard to hold these two things simultaneously. When you're dealing with a story like this of just potentially horrific, just tragic political violence, unacceptable political violence in this country, the fact that he is a conservative star is central to that, right? We're talking about political violence. And yet, and I know this is maybe hard for like cable TV news viewers or political news consumers, everything gets so divided up and everybody, we're in such a polarized time. So we also have to separate out the human tragedy that's happening right here and the fact that this person, that Charlie Kirk, has devoted his career. Again, I get that a lot of people watching right now may find his views abhorrent or maybe totally have worked against him politically. But the fact that he was the conservative star that he was, the fact that he was putting himself in the public spotlight to advance his beliefs and advance a movement seems to be at the very cause as to why he was shot today and why his family may be shattered. And again, we don't know his condition right now, and our prayers should be going his way and his family's way, and they are. But it's impossible in this moment that you don't want politics to be part of it at all. It is impossible to separate it because it is clearly, it seems from everything we know, this is going to be the centerpiece of a conversation about unacceptable political violence in this country and how this country can move from this moment forward to a place where that decreases or where that is less. I think that seems pretty elusive to America right now.
I think it does, David.
Yeah, I don't know if it's real or not, but chatters are saying he was talking about mass shootings, like he was answering a question about mass shootings when he got shot. Bro, I already got commenting in my chat, on my YouTube instantly. Like, look, this is what I mean, okay? This is what I mean? Like, that just happened. That's a YouTube notification from literally a minute ago. This is what I have to, I mean, I deal with this like literally every day of the week. I deal with this every day of the week. So it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit different from the way I'm watching the situation, okay?
That is, you know, if anything could come out of this, if there's some kind of wake-up call that come out of this, I know I probably sound naive saying that, it would seem like we've got to find a way to be able to have politics in this country and differences of opinion that do not end like this.
You know, you think about the only way to break a law is if a law first exists, and this is going to open
recall that like not even a month ago there was a political commentator who said that they would justify down on the street. That wasn't even a month ago. That was a couple of weeks ago. So remember, America is an incredibly violent country. Everybody has guns, and political violence often comes from the right wing in general, even if it's like directed at the right. Okay, yeah. Look at this.
And also the community at large. This will be a very big
They
conversation there. But I put my prosecutor brain on again with a suspect in custody. We sadly are a nation plagued by gun violence, but we're also plagued by sometimes the inability to have the person account for the violence that they have been alleged.
New York Times is posting it too. Charlie Kirk was scheduled to debate progressive influencer Hasan Piker at Dartmouth College on September 25th. On his Twitch livestream, Piker reacted to the news with horror, urging some of his followers to stop making jokes about the shooting, and he expressed fear that he could be similarly targeted. This is a terrifying incident, Piker said. The reverberation of people seeking out vengeance in the aftermath of this violent, abhorrent incident is going to be genuinely worrisome.
Amend or reinforce laws to ensure, much like hate crime legislation that came before, the idea of if there are specific aspects you are targeting of a person can increase penalties, undermine the ability to actually have those crimes occur. And so this will be a part of the conversation. And again, we're talking about what appears to be just a guess here, given the facts we have, a premeditated act. If it's premeditated, if there's only been one shot fired, not targeting any other person, this is no longer generalized violence, and that means the investigative trail begins. It is electronic. It is what was on that person's body, how many cell phones, who they communicated with, where they may have been before this, who knew about their whereabouts. Did they travel across state lines? Were there other people involved, and now possibly an interstate or intrastate activity? Will the FBI be involved? Will it be a state or local aspect of it? This is at a time, of course, as you all know, David, especially about the motive from the President of the United States to ensure that crime is at an all-time low in the presence of reinforcing military officials at times to make sure that's the case. Will there be an expanded move now in that aspect of it? And if that's the case, will college campuses, which has traditionally been a bit of a island unto itself in terms of the ability of local law enforcement to come on, will it be treated differently? The investigation begins simultaneously when the family begins to process what it would be like to explain to these young children that daddy is hurt, and will he be coming home tonight or ever?
We certainly are awaiting answers as to his medical condition.
A Turning Point USA official says Charlie Kirk is at the hospital, but it doesn't look good. Confirmed Kirk was shot in the neck. This is from Jennifer J. Jacobs, CBS News senior White House reporter. Here's a video of the old man being walked away in cuffs. Footage showing the person who allegedly shot Charlie Kirk being taken into custody. As of now, we have no firm confirmation that this was the actual shooter. For the record, this is just footage of a suspect being apprehended. I'm going to repeat once again. This is footage of a suspect being apprehended. It's the same old guy that we saw earlier as well. We don't. I mean, look, in a normal environment, if we lived in normal times, if we had a normal, responsible government and not a bunch of psychopaths running the show, they would look at this incident and go, we have to actually take serious precautions and we have to look at gun control seriously. Okay. Charlie Kirk himself, as an advisor to the Trump administration and as a mouthpiece for a lot of the most reactionary right-wing sentiments being expressed in this country, has routinely talked about how gun violence is a unfortunate but necessary side effect of having the freedom of the Second Amendment. Okay? Quite literally, he has verbalized his opinions on this issue with the false notion, with the false assumption that it might not ever happen to him. Okay? And in a moment like this, a reasonable government would say, all right, enough is enough. Okay? But one that hasn't said that in the aftermath of Sandy Hook is most likely not going to say that in the aftermath of this incident as well, especially considering that there are school shootings happening with regular frequency. As I've said already, the Charlie Kirk shooting is the 46th school shooting that has taken place this year. 46. Yes, he said this. Charlie Kirk says gun deaths unfortunately worth it to keep the Second Amendment. You only say this if you don't think that you will ever be a victim to such political violence. Okay? I very much understand that this is a constant reality, for the record. Both political violence and just gun violence in general. Okay? There has been a 47th now, a fresh one in the same county as Columbine. Jesus Christ. There is another school shooting happening as this took place. Wait, what? Multiple people shot at Evergreen High School in Jefferson County. Okay, well, this is also breaking news. I'm not going to go into it, but AP says he's in critical condition. Is that what it is? Kirk, okay. Associated Press has an update. Says Kirk is being treated and is in critical condition. A law enforcement official briefed on the shooting told the Associated Press. The official spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss the matter. Kirk co-founded Turning Point USA in 2012 at the age of 18 and soon became a regular presence on cable TV where he leaned into the culture wars and helped praise on then President Trump. I urge people on the opposing side of American politics to really reconsider. Yeah, I got a mention in the New York Times. I know, because I was slated to debate him in 2 weeks. For the people who keep saying, brother, you need to get security. You need to understand, Charlie Kirk had security. He had a lot more security than I have ever had. I don't usually have security at all. Okay? I don't have any security when I go out to these sorts of events. I've done numerous public speaking engagements. I never bring security on purpose. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't have to be like this. And the reality of the matter is, this is a systematic problem. This is a systemic issue. Okay? Charlie Kirk had security. What do you do when someone is shooting at you from 200 yards away? Do you understand? That's why you have to solve this issue with good governance. I don't know what will happen with Dartmouth. I am not in contact with them. I've already informed my management on obviously Charlie Kirk getting shot. So we'll see what takes place now. I don't think that I know that it's not going to be with Charlie, but I don't know if there's going to be an event at Dartmouth at all. We shall see. And before people say, wear a bulletproof vest, again, he got shot in the neck. A bulletproof vest would not have saved Charlie Kirk. Okay? Security did not save Charlie Kirk. The only thing that could have potentially saved Charlie Kirk from getting shot in the neck was if our administrations, prior to this one and this one as well, actually had reasonable gun control as a policy provision in the immediate aftermath of, 100 other school shootings that took place. This is why I keep responding over and over again to people that go, hey man, why don't you get security? Hey man, why don't you get a vest? There's nothing. None of those things will save you. Okay? This isn't like before people say, oh man, you're making this political or whatever, but this is an issue. I need you to understand. This is an issue that is obviously very close to myself, considering that not only do I engage in public speaking with regular frequency at events as a very visible political commentator who just yesterday was called a terrorist and a 9/11 lover by the former governor of New York. Okay, there is a lot of tuning up and You know, there's a lot of agitation that I receive. I receive death threats with regular frequency. All this stuff is very close to the chest. There is not really anything you can do here aside from just not doing any public speaking engagements. There's not really anything you can do here aside from, you know, existing in a more secure society, one that has significant restrictions on who can have guns. He had a 10-man private security detail for this event, along with campus and local police. Not fully confirmed, though. No, I know he has mad security. I know. But what do you do, regardless, in that situation where someone fires from 200 yards away and shoots Charlie Kirk directly in the neck? There's nothing you can do in that situation. There's nothing I would be able to do in that situation. It's just a matter of luck. It makes me consider that all of the incidents that have taken place thus far, where, you know, I don't know. What if they didn't, what? Anyway, the reason why I'm mentioning this is not to be like, I'm not going to have security or I'm not going to take even more necessary precautions in the future. Of course I will. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, like, Charlie Kirk did take those necessary precautions. Okay? And now he's in critical condition at a hospital. So one must ask the question, why? One must ask the question, how we got here. And if you personally think it's just because, you know, kismet, I guess, well, there are ways to prevent this. There are ways to prevent this, not just for Charlie Kirk, but for the little school kids, the parents that are worried every day when they send their children to kindergarten, to school, to church. You shouldn't have to think about potentially being a victim to a mass shooting when you're out in public. That is insane. That's insane. The Charlie Kirk shooting is terrible, and I'm more broadly afraid that we're in a period of rising vigilante violence. I don't know what you can do other than condemn it, regardless of who's responsible. Yeah, key political violence and resilience trends from 2024. Yes, I know the New York Times mentioned me. I know. Charlie Kirk was scheduled to debate progressive influencer Hasan Piker at Dartmouth College on September 25th on his Twitch live stream. I was supposed to debate him 2 weeks from now at Dartmouth University. This is why I'm saying it's a you know, I have a closeness to the incident. The Deseret News article is probably not as up to date if they're saying the suspect is not in custody, because everything that I have seen so far, from mainstream outlets has been that the suspect is in custody. I have no reason to believe that that is not the suspect, considering that that's what the media is presenting it as. Obviously, we are going to be awaiting some kind of report from the police that will give us more details. It's important to wait in these moments to get like verified information, but we'll see. He's Mormon too. Those were garments. Oh, he had the Mormon underwear on, because his pants fell off while they were moving him around. I don't know if they wore the Mormon underwear. Young people who attended the recent Turning Point events expressed alarm about Wednesday's shooting at Charlie Kirk in Utah. It's absolutely sickening, said Ella Guidry, who has gone to several TP conferences, including a summit for young conservative women. For people who follow him, it's reminiscent of the one day in Butler, Pennsylvania, she said. A reference to the attempted assassination. I wonder if these guys are going to like put two and two together, by the way, about like the ready availability of weapons and how all it takes is just one person. You know, it seems like they're not. It seems like they're able to compartmentalize this as a totally separate thing, as though this is the type of violent incident that is unfortunate, but always going to happen, and has nothing to do with like the increased likelihood of political violence taking place with weapons, because you can just like purchase an arsenal of gear to do things like this. People then turn around and say, oh my God, I feel so safe when I'm in Japan, when I'm walking the streets. And it's like, yeah, you feel safe when you're walking the streets of Japan because they don't have guns. Like, that's a major part of the reason, okay? There's just the people that you are around are not at any given moment could take out a weapon and shoot you. I know a lot of people have said the county he was in had a lot of extreme Z supporters, along with InfoWars dude a few weeks ago saying Charlie Kirk was concerned about it. Z supporters? What does that even mean? The old dude isn't the shooter, according to New York Times. New York Times confirms that the person in custody is not the shooter. I'm so confused. So the person is not in custody? What? The police have determined that a person who was taken into custody after the shooting was not actually the shooter, according to Scott Trotter, a university spokesman. This is 2 minutes ago. The university had earlier said a suspect was in custody, and video showed an older man being detained by police officers. Russia's supporters, like Z as in Russia, Russian supporters. A previous person they interviewed on Fox said the guy they arrested is someone he knows named George, and that George was poor but wouldn't shoot someone. Major English Esquire. Like I said, big balls getting beat up. Big balls getting beat up triggered a military occupation of D.C. So I don't know what is going to happen in the aftermath of this. Obviously, I don't think that Trump is going to sic the National Guard of the military onto Utah. Utah is a red state. So that actually complicates things from his perspective a little bit. But I could totally see him enacting vengeance on every college campus in blue states specifically. Check the CNN article again. He was talking about transgender shooters right before he was shot. According to the CNN article, Charlie Kirk was answering a question about transgender mass shooters in America seconds before he was shot. The exchange goes as follows. Audience member, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Charlie Kirk, too many. The same audience member went on to say the number is 5 and proceeded to ask if Kirk knows how many mass shooters have been in America over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence. Seconds later, the sound of a pop is heard and the crowd screams as Kirk gets shot and recoils in his seat. Crazy, just last week you were watching a video about him too? Brother, it's not even watching a video about Charlie Kirk. I was supposed to be at a public event alongside Charlie Kirk where I was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk 2 weeks from now. And if you were unaware of that, and that is because I usually don't promote this kind of stuff ahead of time for obvious reasons. The old man is a Hinckley Institute frequenter, according to a friend of mine who goes to U of U currently. He's a conservative, and my source says it wouldn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't seem like that person is the one who actually did it anyway. Yeah, while this is taking place, apparently there's also another high school shooting that's taking place in Colorado as well. Obviously, I'm not going to get into it until we have more details. But the conservative commentator Glenn Beck told Megyn Kelly on her live YouTube show that his daughter was at the event where Kirk was shot. She confirmed on Instagram that she was about 10 feet away and saw everything. Grums is replying to your tweets insinuating that you wanted this. Why would I want this? I literally have debated him publicly. I was supposed to debate him 2 weeks from now. Why the would I ever want this? Are you stupid? Do you think I want to die? Do you think I'm still? What are you, dumb? I'm a political commentator that gets death threats every day, 1 million times a day. I do public events all the time. Do you think I think this is good? Like, think for a moment. Even political ideologies aside, okay? Political ideologies aside, think for a brief moment. Does this person have self-preservation? Me. Do I have self-preservation? Do I think about things like this potentially happening? Is this not on the back of my mind, for example? It is. People are actively, because we are so desensitized to violence in general in this country, the one country where this just keeps happening over and over again, people now don't even wait. There's no thoughts. There's no prayers. They just immediately go, who is my immediate enemy that I can shift the blame over to? How can I redirect the conversation? How can I redirect the conversation immediately back to not like a reasonable solution and ways to potentially prevent this sort of thing from happening, but instead, how can I move this conversation back to an enemy that I have online, for example, without even considering what that implies? Blame anything but a lack of gun control. Omar Fateh had a good response. The shooting of Charlie Kirk is horrifying. We cannot normalize or condone violence of any kind, especially across political differences. Minneapolis has been recently impacted and traumatized by a similar disregard for life. Gun violence must end. It doesn't matter how despicable you find people, okay? This is obviously an incredibly dangerous precedent. Kamala Harris, the former vice president, said on social media she was deeply disturbed by the shooting of Kirk. I condemn this act and we must all work together to ensure this does not lead to more violence. As far as the shooter, whether he's in custody or not, like I don't understand. They keep going back and forth on whether or not the shooter is in custody or not in custody. The police have determined that the person who was taken into custody after the shooting was not actually the shooter, according to Scott Trotter, a university spokesman. So I think like the old person that they apprehended might not have been the shooter after all. What is this? Utah Speaker Mike Schultz confirms Charlie Kirk is dead. Brigham Tomko, politics reporter of Deseret, says Charlie Kirk, 2 sources tell me Charlie Kirk is confirmed dead. Or 200 feet, not 200 yards. Audio, the footage is not, it's 200 feet. It was not a sniper. It sounded like a handgun. Wait, what? There's a new version of this post. That was from an hour ago. Utah Speaker Mike Schultz confirms Charlie Kirk is dead. Last edited 2 minutes ago. I mean, I'll await further confirmation. It's a rifle. You don't hit a shot like that with a handgun. Yeah, that's virtually impossible. I mean, it could, because it's a bullet. You know, a bullet is a bullet, but it would have to be like an insanely unlikely. It's just impossible. Like, it's virtually impossible. It just doesn't. It's ridiculous. CNN is reporting that the suspect who shot Charlie Kirk did so from 200 yards away. I don't know. I don't. If that's true, it means he was further away than the Trump assassin in Pennsylvania and further away than Lee Harvey Oswald was when he shot Kennedy. It must be 200. It must be 200 feet and not 200 yard, right? Like 200 yards is like, I mean, that's an insane shot. That's like historic, right? Am I crazy? How many football fields is that? 2 football fields length. Yeah, no, but if it's also 200 feet away, then I feel like they would have apprehended the shooter instantly. You know what I mean? And the initial reporting, I think, said 200. The initial reporting said 200 yards. I'm pretty sure. The university spokesperson and a lot of people. A lot of the original reporting said 200 yards. And the very fact that they were not able to apprehend, like the New York Times reporting said 200 yards, but now NBC is saying 200 feet. But I don't know. We have no information. We have no information at the time about who the shooter was, what weapon they used. I will obviously update as we get more information, but Charlie Kirk, I mean, not Newsmax, Real America's Voice is saying that he's passed away. Trump is talking about Charlie Kirk in the past tense. This guy didn't even see the incident, by the way. He just saw it on the news. Okay, it's no different than like asking someone like, any number of different chatters in here. People got down in waves when shot was fired, witness says. Andrew Cadlow was standing in the middle of the campus amphitheater on Wednesday waiting to debate Charlie Kirk about the 8th Amendment when a single shot rang out. It was surprising. No one really got down until the people in the front of the stage did. Mr. Piscadlow, 28 of Salt Lake City, said in a phone interview, people got down in waves. He had been in line at the campus event at Utah Valley University waiting to speak and debate Mr. Kirk, as students typically do in the so-called Prove Me Wrong debates that Mr. Kirk, a right-wing activist, hosts. Confirmations are coming in slowly. I mean, this is Global Eye News, but I obviously saw Utah Speaker Mike Schultz confirms Charlie Kirk is dead a while back from Brigham Tomko, who is the politics reporter at Deseret News. So we don't have confirmation yet, but like it is all I'm saying is it is very, very, very unlikely that he survived that shot to the neck. After what I saw, I don't, I just don't understand. I don't see how that happens. The speaker's tweet didn't say anything about him being dead. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We don't know. I think a lot of people are just basically running off of they want to be first to market. I'm not giving you a full confirmation until we see it. Okay. I don't know what Just the News is. Like OSINT accounts and things like that are utterly irrelevant in this. They could be right, but it doesn't matter until there is a real firm confirmation. Then, I mean, look, mainstream accounts right now are even reporting incorrect information, like the old man that was arrested being the suspect, the potential shooter, and then turning around and saying he was not the shooter, and that the shooter was actually, all we know is he's in critical condition at the moment right now. That's the last piece of verifiable evidence that's come out. I know that Charlie Kirk's own news broadcaster, conservative online channel Real America's Voice, is saying that he's dead. But I'm not going to rush to that conclusion. But here's BBC's additional breaking news. Reporting person in custody has been released, according to CBS News' reports. University spokesman says that the person who was taken into custody after the shooting has since been released, which means that they did, like, it seems like they don't have the actual shooter. So does that imply that the actual shooter is at large? What does that mean? There's a chance to save an individual, but so many factors at play medically in terms of GSW triage. I know the New York Post White House reporter asked Trump about it, and he spoke about him in the past tense. Not good. He was a very, very good friend of mine, and he was a tremendous person. That's what he said. I know the New York Post White House reporter asked Trump about it, and he spoke about him in the past tense. Not good. He was a very, very good friend of mine, and he was a tremendous person. That's what he said. How do they have so much security, but they can't find the shooter? I don't know. Because, I mean, if someone is capable of shooting from a distance like that, and they hadn't accounted for any sort of like counter snipers or anything like that, which, of course, there's no expectation that they should. Why should they? You know, this is not the president. And even the president with sniper cover still almost got killed. I think we're forgetting, like when he was campaigning, he almost got killed. Spectator Index says he's pronounced dead, but we don't know yet. I think
I want to bring in now
right.
our Jeff Zeleny.
Yeah, Edinger Mentum says this is the one case where far right new media outlets are going to have the info quicker than the mainstream news, and they're all saying that he's dead. I know that they're all saying that he's dead. Trump is speaking about Charlie Kirk in the past tense. I'm not going to give you an official confirmation until there is an official confirmation. That's it. Okay. It's just, there is very, very, very low likelihood that he survives something like that. Especially, look, I'm not a medical expert at all, but I just saw the amount of blood I saw gushing out of his neck on the moment of impact. It makes me feel as though it's, it's super unlikely. I mean, that was a ton of blood in literally less than a second. We know that he's in the hospital so far, and the official reporting from the hospital is that he's in critical condition, which is of course expected. The scourge of gun violence and political violence must end. The shooting of Charlie Kirk is the latest incident of this chaos, and it must stop. We cannot go down this road. There's no place for it in America. We wish for his recovery. Trump announced his death. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he's no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. Trump had to be the one to announce this. That's as close to an official confirmation as you're going to get. He's dead. Charlie Kirk is killed. Charlie Kirk was... Wow. This is insane. 2 minutes ago. This is from Trump's official Truth Social, by the way. I don't know if Trump is the best source. No, he is the best source. What are you talking about? As insane as as crazy as the things are, it would be Trump that announces that he's dead. That is the most Trump administration thing that could have possibly happened. First, the information is revealed to close friends. It leaks out to close friends and family, and immediately starts getting reported on by One American News and stuff like that. But then the official confirmation must come from Trump.
And my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife Erica and family.
CNN
Charlie,
is now reporting
we
that
love you.
Trump has
Again,
announced
President
that Charlie
Trump
Kirk is dead.
Telling us at this hour that Charlie Kirk has died. Kirk was shot at an event at Utah Valley University earlier today, shortly after noon, according to the university. There was a single shot that rang out. He was shot in the neck, and now the President of the United States, someone that Charlie Kirk was close to, is reporting that he has died. I want to bring in Kristen Holmes. She is live for us at the White House. Again, Kristen, we're of course mourning Charlie Kirk. This is a man who, he was 31 years old. He had two very small children, 3 and 1 ages, I believe. He is someone who was very close to the President of the United States, close to the Trump family, someone who played a critical role, if you talk to people around the president, in the president winning his second term. What are you hearing from those close to us? We, of course, read the statement that just came through from President Trump.
It's a very somber mood here. People are very upset. It's not just at the White House, it's really among Republicans as a whole. The Republican Party has become the party of Trump, the MAGA movement, and Charlie Kirk was really
Andrew
at the
Colvin.
heart of all of that.
Kirk's spokesman
He
says
is
Kirk is
credited
dead.
with a huge portion of Trump's win in 2024. He was on the ground. He created an entire system to get young voters out and excited and enthusiastic about Trump. And it's not just as though he was some kind of outside influencer. He was very close to the president himself. I know specific examples of times that the two of them went back and forth over various issues. When Charlie thought something was important to the MAGA base, he brought it to the president's attention. There are some people who believe that Charlie had his finger on the pulse of Trump's base more than even some of his own cabinet officials. He had a huge following and, again, was so close to the family, to President Trump himself. And one of the things, I continue to bring up is the fact that there was a lot of conversation during the transition as to potentially making Charlie Kirk part of the administration. But the ultimate decision was that he was more influential, had more power outside of being in a government position. He had been in Washington a number of times. He had been here with his family. He went to swearing-ins of numerous officials.
Bro, how the do they not have the shooter? I can't comprehend this, okay? One of the most televised events, okay? This is an incident on a college campus. Everyone's got a smartphone. Everyone, I guess the shooter shot from a distance, but God damn, dude, that is crazy. That is crazy. He's over. Oh, I don't like what is going to happen in the aftermath of this.
Actually going to also make a statement other than this Truth Social post. I know that they are in touch still with everyone close to Charlie's family, with his team at Turning Point, with the team around him, just trying to make sense of what happened. But I will tell you, I talked to, again, a number of officials within the administration who are close to President Trump who just can't wrap their head around what happened earlier today.
Yeah, I already,
of course,
I know.
of
The New York Times reported
Kristen,
saying...
stand by for us as we continue to cover this story. I want to bring back our Scott Jennings. Scott,
the New York Times posted what I said after he got shot. I know.
What are your reflections on his life, his legacy in this moment?
Well, Charlie was one of the most unique and special people in the conservative movement today. What he was able to build, the people he was able to organize, was just so large. And
of course, they're AP is going live in DC in response to the death. I think that right now, does this make you rethink debating in public ever? I mean, I need to really reconsider the way I do everything outside for the foreseeable future. Dude, it's crazy. I got dudes literally stuck in Gaza DMing me about Charlie Kirk. That is crazy. That's how impactful and big of a news story this is. 1:36 p.m. Fox 13 Salt Lake City has spoken with an official from the university who said the school has surveillance video of the shooter leaving campus. We don't know. We don't know exactly. This is the suspicion, I guess. That's what the New York Times reported as well. 200 yards. But it's a crazy distance for a shot like that. Authorities, just in from AP. Authorities are still searching for the suspect in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk, mayor says. That is nuts. ABC special report. No Scott.
Young people into the fold.
Yeah, absolutely, David. The president himself did give a lot of credit along the way, of course, leading up to his win in November on the campaign trail. In fact, he gave Kirk a lot of credit, if not most of the credit, for a lot of that younger vote and for mobilizing a lot of those voters to go out and vote for him. I know the multiple times I've been over at the White House, I've witnessed Charlie Kirk there in the West Wing talking to advisors, of course, not a formal advisor. He was responsible, David, for helping with a lot of the vetting of the top cabinet officials and had a lot of input. He was one of those people right next to Trump in a lot of these meetings in his ear, and Trump was taking his advice. It wasn't just the White House, it was across government agencies, the Department of Justice. I know Kirk was very close with the Attorney General, with the Deputy Attorney General, so he did have quite an influence within the administration, even though he wasn't so outwardly seen, if you will, at these agencies.
Catherine Falder is with us from our Washington Bureau. Catherine, we appreciate you and the team and the reporting here this afternoon on a very difficult story. Again, Charlie Kirk, co-founder of Turning Point USA, was shot and killed in Utah at a campus event, to the horror of the thousands who had gathered there. He was in the middle of what has become a trademark for him at these visits, in the middle of a debate, of sort of back and forth, questions being asked of him. I want to show you there was a moment of silence on the House floor in Washington for Charlie Kirk just moments ago. Bipartisan calls to calm this down, to bring the rhetoric down in this country. Again, there was a moment of silence that came.
Dude, by the way, right-wingers saying, oh, we got to tone down the rhetoric. Once again, people who perhaps are most responsible for setting up an environment where violence and instability is the norm for everyday Americans, okay? People who have set up an environment where there is just no solution to unlimited gun violence every single day, where parents send their children to school and there's no guarantee of their safety, and some experience exactly what the Republicans, the fear and anger that the Republicans are currently experiencing because they knew Charlie Kirk. Regular people experience that, unfortunately, all too frequently. Okay. Meanwhile, while they're talking about toning down the rhetoric of violence, Elon Musk, the owner of the website, took no time, like didn't even wait for the confirmation of Charlie Kirk's death, to immediately go, the left is the party of murder.